Alright, hello. This is the very special private Q&A video for Vesko. And hello, Vesko, first of all. Thank you very much for your Patreon contribution in the month of June. Very much appreciated. And yes, I did get your message up front saying that, this was going to be just a one-time really big thing and that you were going to lower your pledge afterwards. And I did see that you did. And listen, that would be pretty ridiculous of me to expect that someone was going to give that amount of money on a monthly basis. I mean, thank you very much. That was very much appreciated. That was very generous of you. And I hope that my answer to your questions for this Q&A video are sufficient to make up for the contribution that you made to my Patreon. I did also see that you did not wish to get any kind of a t-shirt or be a part of Project 7. Now, if you ever change your mind, understand, you can always message me. I've got history to prove that you did pledge the amount that you did. So if you ever change your mind and you say, oh, I would now like to be a part of Project 7, or I changed my mind, I maybe want a t-shirt at some point, let me know. Feel free, okay? But thank you very much. Understand that this year in particular has been an awesome year for me because of people like you, because you guys are directly supporting my efforts to keep doing this on a daily basis. Look at the improvements, look at the soundproofing foam, the better microphone, the fact that when you watch my reviews now, there's tons of editing and stuff in them, right? The green screen stuff that I've started to do, and you're going to see, I think, when I start working on Project 7 again, the fun stuff that I'm able to do that was not in my comfort zone, but that I am striking out to do. Marathons. I never did a marathon until this year. Now I've done 3, and I had a ton of fun every time I've done one, and I actually can't wait for the one at the end of this month, too. All because of Patreon. So Patreon is, in my opinion, making this a better overall experience, and I'm feeling more positive and better than ever before because of it. So thank you. But enough about me. Let me take a sip of water, and then we'll get on to your questions. Alright. So I did see this. Your first question here, alright, is that you're asking me about my technical setup. And you're actually asking me for, like, a screenshot of a text file or whatever of my setup. I really don't have a hell of a lot to show you. I'll explain to you exactly how it works right here, alright? Game console. Whatever console it may be is HDMI. That's the cable, the video cable that comes out of the back. Goes into an HDMI splitter that I own. It's generic. It's one that I bought at, like, Best Buy, a local electronics store. So it's not anything fancy. It's nothing. It's just El Cheapo. It's like, I think it was $60 when I bought it, okay? The HDMI splitter, one cable goes to my TV, and that's how I play my games. I see it on my TV. The other cable goes to my capture device, which I'll talk about in a moment. For my audio, Astro A40 headphones. I've owned them for over 2 years now. They go into this Astro mix amp that came with the Astro A40. I can't hold it up that way. Oh, there we go. The Astro A40 mix amp right here, okay? This goes to the back of your game console. This is actually the audio cable that comes out of the back of your game console, and it goes into the mixer, okay? So, very straightforward there for audio for how I hear it. And then that HDMI cable comes out of the splitter to my capture device. My capture device is the AverMedia Extreme Cap U3. I've used this for over a year now. I started using it in the summer of last year, and I've used it for a solid year now. It's really good. 1080p quality, 60 frames per second. The only thing that I can say that's a negative about it is that it does make large file sizes if you want it to look good. If you've watched my videos, such as my Mortal Kombat 10, or I'm trying to think, recently I just started playing Devil May Cry 3, or some other games that were 60 frames per second, because it does do that. It does it in really good quality, but your file sizes get big, and it just is. It's necessary. For 60 frames per second, your video files are going to be large. I'm talking like 2-3 gigs for, maybe 15-20 minutes. So pretty huge file sizes, alright? So that device then connects via USB 3.0 to the back of my PC, and that's my gaming PC, okay? Software-wise, I only use one piece of software. It's OBS, Open Broadcast Software, alright, or Broadcasting Software, I think it's actually technically called. And what you do is I bought this AverMedia and I installed it on my PC, put in all the software and stuff that they want you to install on it. But then I just open it up in OBS, I add it, you can add it as an actual game capture device, okay? And as you do, it shows up AverMedia, you select it, and then you just tell it, oh, you're recording, from this resolution, from the, and here you go, 60 frames per second, and it just works. It's very simple. It's like plug and play. There's very little adjustment. The only thing that I can tell you, if you're wondering, I don't know how technical you want me to go here. If you're talking kilobytes per second, I record in 9,000 kilobits per second or kilobytes. I don't even know what it stands for. kbps. Which is why I had to leave Twitch. Because when I wanted to adopt 60 frames per second last year, Twitch was telling me I could only broadcast at like 3,000. And I said 3,000 is barely sufficient for 720p. How is it that there's all these people doing 1080p 60 frames per second on your website? And of course, they had no answer for me. And the answer is this: they're a very preferential website. Twitch TV looks for streamers who are going to constantly be begging for money, okay? I need subs, send me donations and subs, so you'll do a ton of subs on Twitch, and Twitch makes a ton of money off your channel. Then they don't bother you anymore, okay? But I was never like that. I was the kind of person that I would ask for subs in the pre-streams, and if I got them, I got them. If I didn't, I didn't constantly interrupt my content to beg for subs, so I never had a ton of subs, and because of that, Twitch decided, oh, well, we're going to force Phil to do a low bitrate stream when other people had better bit rates than me, which is ridiculous. So I left Twitch last year. When I wanted to start doing the 60 frames per second, I went to YouTube. YouTube's unlimited. And I'm so happy I moved, because since I moved now, YouTube allows me to do whatever quality video I want. So I'm doing full 1080p, 60 frames per second, no limits. They don't give a shit. And my streams look amazing. They really do. They look better than they ever did on Twitch. The stream chat's good. Everything's going good. So in regards to my streaming and capturing, I just use this one program called OBS, and this program is able to both stream and capture at exactly the same time. It actually has two buttons, one that says stream and one that says capture, and all you need to do is get your details, whether it's YouTube details or Twitch login info, and you put it into the program, right? And you tell it to record at 9,000 kilobytes or kilobits per second, whatever the hell it is, at 1080p, 60 frames per second. And, you know, it takes a little bit of learning. It took me about a month to 2 months to actually settle down and learn all the settings and get all the little intricacies of the program out. But once I did, my videos look better than ever. And then what actually happens, as I'm live streaming, it streams to YouTube, but it also is recording locally, and it actually records on an external hard drive. And again, it's nothing major. Any external hard drive will do. The one that I have, I think, is called the Western Digital Passport, My Passport, and it's a USB 3.0 hard drive, so it's a little bit faster to read-write than a normal external hard drive, and it stores to that. And I just fill her up, and when it's time to upload the videos, I put them straight off from that. I select them from that hard drive and upload them straight to YouTube. If it's a thing like Hate Live, my podcast, I don't even bother. I'll record the video as a backup, but I just let that stream that was on YouTube, you can actually just make it go live, and that's what I do. I just make the stream archive go live, and that becomes the podcast on YouTube, and that way I don't need to double dip and re-upload the same stuff. Now, you mentioned, are there any plans for me to upgrade my content in the future? Right now, quite honestly, the golden standard for gameplay is 1080p, 30 frames per second. There's actually a lot of games aren't even running at 60 frames yet. Just look at the games that have come out recently. Bloodborne, Batman Arkham Knight, two of the biggest releases of this year, both ran at only 30 frames per second. So my setup is actually ready for better than that, all right? So when I play games like Mortal Kombat 10 or Devil May Cry or upcoming the Street Fighter V beta, I'm very much looking forward to that, to see how that's going to look. But I'm ready. I'm future-proofed. You know what I mean? At least for this generation of consoles. Now, it may be possible that in the future, oh my god, people are capturing at 4K and stuff like that. Right now, most games don't even render at 4K. So, future-proofing, what I'm doing, capturing and streaming, no. The one thing that I would like to improve is being able to play PC games, high-level, high-quality PC games, and capture and stream them at the same time. I tried doing this last year. It did not work. My PC is a powerhouse, and it can run these games, but it can't run and capture and stream them all at the same time. It just cannot handle it. So what eventually I would like to do, if I can ever raise the funds, which I don't know if I ever will, quite honestly, because I can't even raise funds to buy a new camera, which is kind of my next goal. But anyway, if I can ever raise the funds, what I would like to do is get a second PC, which would either be another top-of-the-line PC for gaming, and then I could use my existing PC for the streaming or capturing, or vice versa. Maybe I'll buy a lower-end PC, but it's just dedicated just for streaming and capturing, and then I could use my current PC for gaming, and I could play games like Witcher 3 on max settings, and, you know, it would look gorgeous, 60 frames per second, versus on consoles, it's nerfed, and it's only 30 frames per second. Because right now, that is my one limitation. However, I hate to say it, because I know a lot of people are PC master race, PC-only gamers. not many games are optimized for PC anymore. A lot of people don't want to realize that or admit it, but take a look at a game like Batman Arkham Knight that was ported to PC poorly, or a few other games that came out recently that were ported to PC poorly, or games that aren't even out for PC, right? Bloodborne, how good is that on PS4? It's not on anything else, so, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm really missing out so much on not having a top-of-the-line gaming PC and playing stuff on PC, with a few small exceptions here or there. For the most part, the games that I've played have been fine on console. I don't really think I'm missing out too much. So, future-proofing, in the future, I mean future-proofing. In the future, I may look to upgrade and get another PC dedicated for streaming or whatever, but for right now, I think I'm good when it comes to everything, at least for several years, until, say, the next resolution leap or whatever, okay? Your second question. You say, do we have any intentions of joining a bigger gaming network as Machinima again, or do you have, like, the freedom of choice when you review stuff, like you already said in the past Hate Live podcast? I'm actually more interested to know, financial-wise, if it's better for you when you are standalone or in a network. And please answer briefly. I know that your past statements on the issue, so don't bother with long explanations. Listen, I am with Machinima. I don't know if you realize this. I'm still with Machinima. I never left Machinima. Maybe you get that impression because I removed the Machinima logo from the intros of my videos. That had nothing to do with me leaving Machinima. That was because YouTube decided they didn't want any ads on videos anymore, because they're like, well, we have an ad program, so if you're putting ads on your videos outside of our ad program, we don't get the cut of money, and we're going to start banning and doing disciplinary stuff against people who have ads on their videos. So I completely removed the Machinima logo, and no one's bothered me about it. Machinima doesn't even care, so that's why you don't see that. I'm still with Machinima. I'm still partnered with them. I'm in a managed partnership, which is actually their exclusive high-level partnership. You're saying, what is the benefit of being with a partnership or being standalone? It's very simple. There's 3 levels. There's standalone. Standalone means you're doing everything by yourself. You have no backing, you have no resources, no one to help you or promote you with anything. And I'll be honest, if you're standalone in this day and age and you're trying to do gameplay content, you're probably screwed. Because a lot of people who try to do gameplay content get constant issues with content ID matches, and they can't get their name out there. They do stuff, and there's no way for them to get exposure because YouTube is now so over-flooded with people doing gameplay videos that if you're not partnered, it's hard to even get anyone to watch your stuff. It has to be a fluke. Someone goes on your page by accident, right? Me, I'm the exception. I started so long ago that I was one of the few people that was constantly putting out gameplay videos, and somehow people randomly was searching on YouTube, back when the search engine worked on YouTube, which doesn't anymore, and they were searching for games. They would find my videos, watch them. Wow, this guy's doing a full playthrough, and I got viewership off of that, and I kind of got lucky in regard that I know people know to come watch my content versus people who have tried in the past couple of years to get channels to take off and they don't. If you get partnered with a network, they can help you with that. They can say, listen, we'll promote you on our channel page, we'll put you into, like, for example, Machinima has an app where it'll rotate people's content through an app, and some days you'll be the featured person on an app, right? So you'll get some additional exposure that day, which is nice. I know I've been featured on the app several times, like 2 or 3 times since they actually launched the app. But in addition, if you're in a managed partnership like I am, it basically means that you're protected. It means that their network vouches for you. So for me, I don't have to worry about copyright strikes. I don't have to worry about that stupid content ID match shit where Nintendo or another company tries to claim my video and say that they own it. No, I don't worry about any of that. I could play any game I want. I could do playthrough of it, a review of it, whatever. And because Machinima has vouched for me and they're a big company, I don't get that issue. And that's why I'm with Machinima, all right? Of course, there's a third reason I'm with Machinima. Because a lot of people have said to me, Phil, why are you still with Machinima? You've been with them since 2011, and there's all these other networks that have popped up since then. A lot of people say these networks are so much better, right? They'll promote you and they pay a lot of money and blah, 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 blah. I don't care what everyone says because I've looked into other networks, and I've never found anyone who's offered me better than what I have with Machinima, because I have one of their legacy contracts, which means I have a very old contract from back in 2010, 2011, when they were paying flat rates. They were paying everyone a flat rate of money per video views. Now, since then, it's proven that that contract isn't very viable because video views don't equate to ad revenue. Sometimes the views can be high or low, and ad revenue will go crazy. And so sometimes Machinima actually pays me more money than what I'm making on ads. Sometimes they pay me less. It all depends. But I'm on a flat rate, so no matter what, I know what I'm going to make based off of my video view performance, versus everyone else on YouTube right now is getting a cut of ad revenue. So chances are, even if I have less views than everyone else, I'm getting paid more per view than everyone else because I'm in one of these old contracts. I'd be pretty crazy to leave that contract right now with the amount of money I'm pulling in, especially when I look at ad revenue and I'm like, some months I'm making more money than what ad revenue is pulling in. Why would I go with another company that's going to pay me a fraction of that revenue when I'm making more with Machinima? I'd be insanely bonkers to leave Machinima. But again, anyone who's trying to get into a partnership, you're probably not going to get a managed partnership right out of the gate, and you're probably certainly not going to get a flat rate contract like I have. That's why my situation is much different than most people today who are looking to get sponsorship or a managed or a partnership with anyone like that. The real benefits of having a partnership are exposure, and if they will protect you from things like content ID match or copyright strikes. Bottom line is you could open up your own AdSense account and put out your own content and put your own ads on stuff and make money too, but you know, having a corporation with your back, it feels a little bit better. Like you have someone there to rely on. If you have issues with copyright, you have someone to talk to, right? Versus good luck getting shit just resolved with YouTube on your own, because YouTube is the worst system on the planet. No humans to ever talk to. It's so automated. It's nice to at least have someone to work with them on your behalf. All right. Your third and final question, let me read. This is, have I thought of doing co-op playthroughs with pledgees or pledgers of my channel? Like a lottery with a single monthly or weekly winner, or all of them. I'm watching your co-op with Leanna and watch some of your older videos with John Rambo. You're the kind of guys which have an opinion and can discuss on air a lot of stuff, so it's a great idea to get in touch with viewers, like when I did Mortal Kombat 10 versus viewers. I know your position in co-oping with other big YouTubers, and I personally don't like them anyways. Listen, the bottom line isn't that I wouldn't co-op with big YouTubers. It's like, what would we contribute? When you look at other big YouTubers, right? Am I really like any of them? Look at their content versus mine. A lot of theirs highly stylized, highly edited, you know what I mean? They're live streaming, but every 5 minutes they gotta do a shout out to someone who fucking donated or did a sub on Twitch or whatever. I'm not like that. I'm here to play a game, do a legitimate playthrough. Not gonna be the best player on the planet, but I'm still here to have fun and tough it out, and we have a good time together. Who does that? You know what I mean? Who would I co-op with? And so you say, would I consider doing it with the viewers? See, I would, but here's the problem. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, a few problems. Number one, you mentioned the Mortal Kombat 10 set of gameplay that I did with viewers. It was a nice idea. You're right. There's a problem, though. I found out that there's actually programs you can use to resolve someone's IP address through those lobbies. As stupid as that sounds, like I'm playing a game on PlayStation 4, I'm joining a random room, and because I'm in the room, someone can search and find my IP address. Apparently they exist. And it's not just, it's games like Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, these open lobby systems that people can do it. Now, people might have used that to get my IP. I don't know. I have no idea if people use that or not. So, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but that kind of open lobby system I may not be able to do in the future, as silly as that sounds. Now, you say, well, what about doing like a lottery with people, right? Why don't I do a lottery and then maybe choose a couple people that I could do maybe co-op or something? Good idea. The problem is, undoubtedly, right, there's people who are donating like $1 a month to my Patreon who are trolls. And I hate to say it, but it's happened before. Just look, people, Sons of Kojima, until recently, were doing that. And finally, I found a way to kick them out so they can't do it. And they don't get a shout out in my videos for a special thank you because you gave me $1 this month, as silly as it is. I'm absolutely sure there's probably a few people who are giving me a couple bucks a month on Patreon, just so if I do something like that, they can ruin it. And I hate to say it, but that's the reason I had originally planned on doing things such as releasing videos to patrons first. This was one of my ideas when I was going to launch Patreon early this year. There are plenty of YouTubers out there, they'll do a special video review of a game, they'll do a special video in a series, and they will release it to the patrons early by a day or two, and then it goes public to everyone else. I can't do that because I've had my detractors say we will donate $1 just so we can hide and pretend like we're a fan of Phil's, and then get that link to that advance and give it out to everyone. So that way people won't donate to Phil anymore to get that advanced access, because everyone will have advanced access anyway. And it's silly. I hate the fact that because these miserable fucking people are following me and stalking me and basically trying to make it miserable for me, that I can't do things that other people who use Patreon do. Your idea is a great one. But having, say, 1 or 2 people a month, oh, let's do a cooperative playthrough, and then we go to do it, who knows, right? And then in addition to that, even to make, just to be honest, having a random person who you don't know who they are, you don't know when or they're available to play, to coordinate, especially I have fans that are worldwide. What if there's someone in England, right, or Britain, or wherever, you want to call it, who over there wants to play, but they're 7 hours ahead of me. So now we got to try to coordinate a special time and place to do this co-op. Who knows if the connection will be any good. That's why I don't want to get too much into there. With Patreon, what I've tried to do is I've tried to make it concrete things that I know I can deliver monthly. All right, giving you simple perks like a video like this. This I can do easily. A verbal shout out or a text shout out or send you a t-shirt. Those are things I know I can do. They're fully in my control. Versus let's coordinate a co-op of a random lottery winner when the internet might be crazy because of connection across the world and the time zone difference, and some asshole might be trying to get my IP. You see what I'm getting at? I don't want to get so complicated that now you get people who are upset because I couldn't come through on maybe a Patreon promise or goal that I really wanted to do because of limitations like that. So that's why I've really never done anything like that. And I'll be honest, I'm disappointed because you're absolutely right. That Mortal Kombat 10 sessions that I did with viewers, I loved it. I thought it was a ton of fun. But now I'm worried, now that I've changed my IP address after being DDoS attacked last month, I am worried and nervous that if let's say for example, with Call of Duty coming out later this year, big game, Black Ops 3, zombie mode, there's going to be multiplayer, everything. I'm excited. I would love to do it, but who's to say that if I go to do it, that someone won't use some kind of an IP resolver and find my IP because I'm in a lobby. And now I'm screwed again because to get my IP changed, you saw what a nightmare it was. So I can't go through that every time I play a multiplayer game. So it's a tough situation. It's a tough idea. Co-op is always possible. The problem is this day and age with all the shit that's going on. You know, when I first started on YouTube, did I ever think that I would say, oh, I'd love to do co-op gameplay, but who knows if someone will get my IP address and attack me via my modem or find out my address and send me fake pizza orders and call the cops and have them swat me. Dude, it's insane. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. I never fucking thought for a moment that kind of shit would ever happen, that there's people out there who would do that kind of shit, but sadly there are. So it kind of is what it is, and I push along and I do my best. Thank you for your suggestions. I don't think that the lottery idea would work, but I would like to do more co-op, especially with some of the games that are coming out in the next several months. There's a lot of co-op opportunities, and I'll be looking for people who maybe have some dedicated time, who, for example, Halo 5, Call of Duty. I am going to be teaming up with my friend Nestor again, but it looks like some people, for example, the Area Lord probably won't be available, and I'm maybe looking for other partners, so we'll have to see, but thank you very much for your donation. Thank you very much for your questions. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and your answers. And thanks for your support. I hope that you enjoy the content that I put out this summer. I'm a little worried that this summer is going to slow down a little bit, which will screw me over. Well, here's hopefully hoping that the hardcore gaming season this year is looking really good with some of the great stuff that's lined up. And I'm feeling positive, and hopefully we'll have a great end of the year. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the content moving forward. Thank you so much for your donation, and thank you for your questions. I hope you like the answers, all right? Thank you to Vesko, my friend. I appreciate it. I hope you liked the video. Thanks, and I'll see you later. Peace out.